Diner Dash is a rather simple game. You play as this businesswoman that was tired of all the crap she had to deal with and decided to flee. And in so doing, she ended up finding this building on sale that she turned into a restaurant. And now it's your job to get the people that are waiting in line and put them on a table. You get their order, you give it to the chef gives you the food, you give the food to the customers, and you just wait until they are finished eating so that you can get the tip and put the trash where it belongs. Pretty simple, except each stage has two goals. The first goal is required to move on to the next stage, while the second goal is more of an additional optional challenge for those good enough to reach that goal. But how do you get that goal in much harder levels? Well, there are ways of making combos off the customers. So if you have multiple customers, you get additional points if you get their orders all in one go, or if you give them the food all in one go. You can also get combos by getting the tips and putting out the trash all in one go. So it's all about those combos for much harder expert stages. And that brings us to this stage right here. Possibly the trickiest expert in the entire game. I want to reiterate that I'm saying trickiest. It's not the hardest, but it is the trickiest. And it is the trickiest because of this one table right here. Had this table not been added, this stage would be easy to get an expert on. However, that table right there is immensely misleading and will be the downfall of your expert. I was stuck here for a very long time until I realized that this stage is far different from any other stage that came before it. Up to this point, you had been nonchalantly throwing people at tables and filling the entire restaurant up because that line growing and growing and growing was giving you anxiety and you didn't like seeing that big line over there. However, restaurant number 2 adds this podium that lets you talk to the customers and fill up their heart meter. The higher the heart meter, then the more tip they're going to give you. And once the heart meter goes down to 0, they just leave and you lose points. So up to this point, you were just throwing them on the tables and getting them out of here, and usually that was enough to give you an expert score. Not this stage though. This stage, you need to not only maximize the heart meter, but you also have to maximize that combo of the colors. Whenever somebody of the same shirt sits down on the same colored chair, it gives you bonus points. You have to maximize the seating, you have to maximize the hearts, and you have to try and use that podium as much as possible. And using that extra table will ruin your chances of an expert because you're not focusing on using those chairs and the colors. And so here's my run. Very tricky, but super easy if you know what you're doing. You'll see that at the end I barely get that expert score, and this is possibly my favorite level in the entire game because of that. Every stage after this gets pretty easy, but this level right here is a pretty good overall lesson on the game and how sometimes it's okay to make that line grow. It definitely comes in handy in later levels, especially in the last restaurant. That line will never go down. It's insane. But anyway, enjoy the rest of the video.